What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of TopiCast. This is TopiCast episode 51. I'm one of your hosts, Daniel Pressure, alongside Dry the Messiah.
Hello.
And DJ Beta 86 is a little bitch, and he's about to lose in a Dragon Ball Fighters tournament. I don't know. If you didn't know, we each bring random topics for your discussion and see what happens. All that jazz. You can hit us up on all the social medias for your needs. And so on and so on. So, what have you been up to, Jared?
Finishing class pretty much. Took all my finals pretty much this week. I still got one more thing to do on my online class, and after that I'm pretty much done. Other than that, just kind of been working out. I went and saw Winnie the Pooh last week.
Did you cry?
Thought it was no. I thought so. Here's what was weird about it to me is, so you know how like when they showed like the trailers that like that shows like Winnie the Pooh and Tigger, like they're like, I guess they are still kind of look like a stuffed animal or whatever, basically. What was weird to me is like people thought, I guess they didn't like the way that those characters look, but whenever you in the movie, the rabbit and the owl were a real rabbit and a real owl. But like every other character was
like CG.
Like CG stuffed animal. So I'm like, why didn't they just choose one or the other? Like, why did they like make half of them like actually real and then half of them not real? It doesn't make any sense to me. But
yeah,
I thought the movie was pretty good. Basically had kids screaming and crying the whole time.
Really?
Yeah. That's the thing is like I went like Thursday. God, when did I go? I think I went Thursday like during the day or maybe in like the 7 o'clock showing or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, it came out last
it was actually
Friday, right?
Yeah, but I mean, whenever we normally go to movies on Thursday, like at 10, right? They normally have a showing at 7.
At 7,
and then
you went
10.
at that one? You went at that one?
Yeah, and I figured, I was like, well, I mean, it's the Hollywood. There still probably won't be that many people there. Well, that's
did you
the thing
pay
with
for it,
MoviePass.
or did your movie pass work?
I don't remember, to be honest with you. I think I actually paid for it because that was in the middle of MoviePass basically just like shitting their pants, where they were just like, yeah, you can't see any movies, basically.
Our stock is at 12 cents a share.
Yeah, so I think I actually paid for that one, but now I've been waiting because I feel like they've been kind of loosening up a little bit, but it's still kind of fuckery. So
well, they said it was now only 3 movies a month?
3 movies a week.
I thought they said 3 movies a month the other day.
No, it was 3 movies a week.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say 3 movies a month. That's
Yeah.
I mean, it's still I guess $10 for 3 movies. It's not bad, but
yeah. But yeah, I definitely think like, I mean, it's kind of a kids movie, but I mean, they still like Christopher Robin like went to war and was like killing Nazis at one point for like a little 5-minute like interval. So
all right.
I don't really know how much kids would get into that. So
I heard it wasn't that good. I've heard a lot of bad things about it, but
I thought it was good. Well, that's the thing. It was like the movie reviewers reviewed it bad, I feel like everybody that's gone and watched it thought it was okay. Like, if you go into it with the intention of being like, okay, this is going to be a kids movie, then it actually is pretty good. But if you go in there being like, all right, I'm ready to see the best Winnie the Pooh fucking thing ever.
I want to see Winnie the Pooh kill some Nazis.
I don't know why you're expecting that, to be honest. Like, you should go in like with the thought of, okay, well, this is going to be just kind of a movie to reminisce on the childhood. And if you think about that, then it actually turns out to be a good movie. So
is Winnie the Pooh Disney?
Mm-hmm.
It is Disney?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I couldn't remember. Huh. Interesting. Well, our Happy Time merge is coming up. We got 2 more weeks.
2 more weeks. Next week I may try and go see Black Klansman, and then
they got really good reviews.
Yeah, there's another one coming out too that I wanted to see
The Meg.
this week. Yeah. I mean, I don't necessarily want to see it, but I probably will go see it.
That's definitely a movie pass movie, you know.
That'll be an actual one that they probably like won't. It's like, yeah, because it's like if it's a good movie now, it's like you have a week where you can't go see it, and then they open it up on that limited time. So they'll probably just be like, man, fuck it, we'll just let the people go see this one.
Did you hear about
So-
Did you hear about the new the Marvel thing they announced today at all AMC theaters? They're bringing all 20 movies back in IMAX. And they're starting with the first one, Iron Man, or so.
Why?
They're only doing it in like 3 days, so you gotta like watch them all and like.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Why? Like I could just
because it's for their
watch those
anniversary. I don't know.
Watch them on Netflix. To be honest,
you can't watch
so.
them in IMAX.
I don't give a fuck about IMAX right now.
Hey,
IMAX
you're just
is
mad
not-
because you can't go see anything.
I could go see stuff. I mean, that I could probably even use it on that. To be honest with you, but it
No,
probably would just depend.
They're like, no, sorry.
You don't know that.
Movie Pass doesn't work on IMAX.
It does. You just have to like pay extra.
Oh, pay the difference.
Yeah.
I see.
I know that's how it was in the past. I don't know this before.
Now they're like, no.
Yeah.
Interesting. Done anything else, or is that about it?
Not,
I saw you playing
not-
PUBG the other day.
Yeah, I think I got on once this week and played. That's the thing is like I haven't really been playing that much video games. I feel like if I do, it's like 1 or maybe 2 days a week. But that was, I mean, because literally I had a presentation to wrap up this week, and then gave the presentation, and then I took 2 finals on top of those, and then another one like online. So I don't know. It's just been pretty busy. PUBG's been all right, but I don't know. I'm already kind of tired of the whole battle royale scene right now.
Yeah.
I've been watching Shroud stream Call of Duty.
The new one, 4.
Like people were like it's funny because like the people who are just seeing it like on the stream, like they'll see it for like 5 minutes. The people I talk to will be like, oh, it looks like every other Call of Duty game. It looks like shit. My opinion, like it actually looks pretty good. I mean, yeah, it still has kind of that fast paced feel that all the other Call of Duties have, but it feels like it's more team based, and you can do like
Yeah,
a little bit
I know you have like all these
opinion.
different soldier type that you have a medic and all that.
Yeah, and I think they have like a couple of different game modes that looked interesting. Because I just kind of had it. I had it on the TV. That's the thing. Like I don't have any cable, so like half the time I'll put something on the TV, and I'll end up like going on the internet and doing something. So I'll just like kind of look up at the TV every now and then and see what's going on. Yeah. So, but I mean, honestly, it looked pretty good to me. I probably won't buy it right away just because I'll see what happens with Battlefield and a couple other games, especially with Red Dead. And we'll probably end up talking about that here in a little bit. But that's just kind of like my opinion on games right now. It's just like I have no problem waiting and not pre-ordering anything unless it's just something like epic and I know that I'm going to play it. But honestly, like I haven't seen anything like that in a while, or maybe my tastes are changing in games. I don't know. It's just also, or maybe I've been burned too many times by pre-orders, and then I get the game and I'm done with it in like 2 days. You know, so
interesting.
Ubisoft has ruined gaming for me.
Oh my god, you and Ubisoft hate such a troll. Anyways, let's see. What have I done? Me and the wife started playing Overcooked again.
I saw Overcooked 2 came out on PC.
Tuesday. It came out on everything. And then
y'all playing the first one or the second one?
Yeah, the first one. We never finished it. She started wanting to play again, so now she won't leave me alone about it.
Yeah.
Like, I want to play my games. I don't want to play Overcooked. Anyways.
Whenever I played that with my ex, like, it flared up my anxiety bad, like, because it would be just like the basic, like, levels. And a lot of times it's like, okay, you do this and I'll do this, and I would even ask her, okay, like, okay, what do you want to do? And then so that way, like, I'm giving her the option of picking up what she wanted to do, and then it just got to a point where like she would start freaking out, which in turn would make me start freaking out, and then like I'd get to where like I'd play 2 levels with her, and then I'd just be like, all right, I want to take a break.
Literally, I want to take a break. Get out.
Well, it's just like if I play this anymore, I know something like I'm going to start raging, and I don't like raging in games anymore. I don't really rage in any games, but that's one of those games where it's just like I feel like, especially if you're playing with somebody like and you're trying to like do well, it's easy. If you're playing with people who you've played with a lot, you can do that, and then like they'll laugh and like you can laugh with each other at it the whole time. But it's like if you're playing with somebody who normally doesn't play games, or they're your significant other or something like that, they may take that more offensively than
Right.
somebody else would.
What the hell do you
then
think you're doing?
Yeah, and then you could just be
Get
like
the
joking,
plate!
and then literally they just like throw the controller down there, and then you're in like fucking the doghouse basically for the rest of the time until something happens. So.
That game, they should call it Relationship Destroyer or something.
Rage cooked.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's like, I mean, because I can kind of see what's going on, and I'm like, man, just and I try to go over there and do it, and it's like, I don't even see how people play that game single player though. That game is impossible single player.
I agree. It's definitely a 2-player just to like work through all of it. Has she not wanted to play whatchamacallit multiplayer at all? Stardew Valley multiplayer? Because I know that.
Well, she doesn't really know about it. It's not on console yet.
Yeah, you're just shielding all news from
I just like, you know how you can go in and like delete those words from your like mentions. I deleted them off of her. She doesn't know about it. Shh. But let's see, what else have I done? I've been playing Super Lucky's Tale because I bought Game Pass it was $9.99 for 3 months. So
I've never even heard of that game.
It's just a platformer with a little fox. I don't know. I just wanted something chill, to play. I started playing killing and zombies and stuff. So I've been playing that. Baldur's Gate still, and something else I started playing. I don't even remember. I think that's it. Something.
How's Baldur's Gate been going for you guys?
Good. I think we're on like chapter 3 or something. We beat the first big couple dungeons, and then so I don't know. I think we're like 10 hours in or something. We try to play like every Monday, like D&D. So that's what we've been doing.
We need to get some D&D going.
I know,
again.
Man. We need to find somebody.
Yeah.
I have, like I said, I have one other person for sure. He'll play whenever we're ready. So there's 3.
But that's the problem. Is like we have that. I feel like the people we played with before, like they might want to play, but it's like that was those other guys like held up a lot of games. Not saying that they're bad at all. It was just like either they couldn't come half the time, so we had to reschedule like 2 or 3 weeks out, or they didn't come prepared, so we had to spend like the first like 20 to 45 minutes like getting them caught up on what all they needed to do.
I mean, the main thing is we need a DM, really. I mean, unless you want to do it, but
a DM and play. I'll never challenge myself.
Here's everything. You win the game.
Get on my back, boys.
Let's go. I don't know, man. I mean, I just don't hear anybody talking about it, I mean, I try to like look around on Facebook and stuff, people playing it, but I just don't hear anything.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like the underground. It's like Fight Club. Nobody talks about it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's funny because like I don't know if it's just like a buzzword because of freaking what was that TV show on Netflix?
Stranger Things.
Yeah, I don't know if it's because Stranger Things or whatever, but it's like if you bring it up, or like whenever I went to my cousin's
wedding,
they were there was I think one girl there that was about to start a campaign, and she was going to do a cleric like I did. And they were like,
let me show you a role cleric.
It was like he plays D&D, and it's like if you say it, there's like 3 or 4 people who are like, oh yeah, you play D&D or whatever, and it's like they will kind of get all into it. And then when you're actually talking about it, you can just see their eyes like start looking away, except for like the one person who actually plays. So you're like, yeah, you're just saying that because it's cool to be the nerd culture now. Like you don't really care that much about it. You just want to appeal to the masses, I feel like. But
I think the other problem is like, I could probably find us a couple more people, but I just don't trust that they're dedicated enough to keep playing, Like they'd play a couple games and then we'd be in the same spot we're in.
Or we end up like playing 2 characters. Like
playing 2 characters
that was fun,
is hard, man. Yeah.
Most of the time it was the worst because it's just like, okay, well, what does this person do? You're like, oh crap, I just realized I had their sheet right here, and like it's like you don't get a second to like sit back and kind of enjoy the story. You have to be like, okay, once you're done with my action with my player, now I got to kind of look over here and figure out all the stuff that he has. And
I don't know. There's got to be somebody out there, man. I mean, you said you knew somebody at school that DMs, but I don't know.
Yeah, I could probably get in touch with him, but that was the other thing too. Is like he was in the programming thing, and I don't like see anybody in my programming classes anymore, just because that's like it's funny because it's like it's literally like the other side. It's still the same floor, but it's like the right side of the building instead of the left side. So
Right.
it's like I don't ever go on that side anymore, so I don't ever see those people. So
You need to put up a piece of paper. You know how like people used to do with bands, like pull the and
in
have little
search
like
of D&D,
have all these little like slips with your number on it, and pull this tab to call me to play D&D.
just like get a white shirt and write it in Sharpie, walk around campus, and see if I get
that all that room over there, man, we could set up a table and just leave it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very true.
But anyways, D&D. I miss you, D&D. Rest in peace. I know I have all this stuff over here just chilling, waiting to play. Anyways, speaking of D&D, did you see Gloomhaven? They're making a video game.
Didn't see that.
Yeah, they're turning it into a video game. We'll see how they do that. I don't know.
I don't know how good that's going to be.
I mean, it'll basically be like Baldur's Gate or something, but just Gloomhaven. I'm sure. That's my guess, anyways.
Yeah.
But we just need to play that really until we find some D&D people.
Yeah, I actually saw something on Reddit. I should have saved it. I may have, where it was like for people who play Gloomhaven, if you're tired of like the initial setup every time you play it, like apparently there's like an app that you can have to where I guess I don't know if I don't actually read it, but I think it can maybe like save your game state, or maybe you take a photo or put in information before you close it, so that way whenever you come back and open it up, like it's kind of almost like a template on what all you needed or what all you needed to do. So
yeah. I mean, maybe
go back and look
maybe
at
I can just bring it over your house, man, and we can just leave it set up.
Yeah, that's another thing we
That'd
could do
probably
too.
be the best thing. I just can't leave it set up all day.
My kitchen table holds is my mail. I pretty much just put that there because I pretty much just eat, like I'll make whatever and then I'll sit in the lazy boy and just sit there and eat in the chair. I'll watch TV, but as soon as I'm done eating, I get up and go do whatever. So we could probably definitely do something like that.
We'll look into it. But anyways, let's see. Do you have any topics per se? I got a couple.
I didn't know if I was going to be able to do it today, so I didn't really have any like topics really prepared besides maybe talking about Red Dead.
Red Dead.
Did you? I mean, I don't know if it's really a topic, but did you see that?
Are you going to play Red Dead?
I am. I mean, honestly, like out of all the games this year, all the games that I've heard about coming out and all that kind of stuff, besides Kingdom Hearts, Red Dead's definitely one I was hyped about. So I think it's probably going to get Game of the Year soon, like as soon as it comes out.
It'll be between that and God of War.
Yeah, I mean, God of War was good, but
Spider-Man might give it a run for its money, but I don't see Spider-Man beating God of War. So
the problem with Spider-Man is it's going to be a console and exclusive, and for me, like that kind of puts handcuffs on it, because like to me, if you want a game to be Game of the Year, like you need to come out on every console.
I don't know, man. Usually exclusives win Game of the Year, though. Really.
That's lame in my opinion, though. That's like saying, oh, well, guess what? Only half of you. And to me, you know what that tells me? That tells me that like PlayStation or whoever like paid for that to happen.
Oh, so, my God! You and your conspiracy theories, but everybody paying people.
If this is Game of the Year, then more people will go buy PS4s for
Zelda won Game of the Year last year. Nintendo paid.
Yeah, but what came out last year besides that like could have won it,
Like
Horizon, it's kind of been a lull in
Horizon
games.
Zero Dawn.
That was an exclusive.
I know.
And honestly, like that was good, but I don't think it was Game of the Year, in my opinion.
Yeah. PUBG, everybody was fighting for that too.
PUBG, I mean, it's probably a good thing that it didn't win, because it's literally just sat in the same game state as it has whenever it started. So.
Did you see the thing about PUBG? They said that they're asking I think they're like asking the community or whatever. They were saying that they're about to fix the game, or they want your help, or I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I think it was on Reddit where they were saying like the PUBG people are like preparing to fix the game, or they're close to fixing the game. here's a problem with the game. It's not as fast paced as the other ones, and the reason I say that is if you ever watch the people that stream it or if you play it at all, you always want to play the map that is the smallest map. It's like the equivalent of like a Fortnite size map, or maybe a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
Because the other maps are just way too spread out, and all you end up doing is just you spend half the game either running around or trying to find a car, so that way you can get in the circle. And if you're not in the circle, they've made it so messed up at that point to where you're basically gonna die to the circle. And on the other ones, it gets you. There's more action and during the time that you're in it, and the circle moves a little bit slower because of the way that the map's made. So that way you lose basically games because you weren't good enough, as opposed to, oh, well, we just dropped in a crap spot and we couldn't find a vehicle to get from point A to point B so we could actually fight somebody and possibly win,
Yeah.
So everybody's literally playing the same map over and over and over, and it's not the first two maps that they came out with that were dog shit. So
everybody likes the first one though, the forest one. Everybody likes that one.
I don't like it, in my opinion.
I like it.
I mean, I think it's just kind of like the nostalgia. It's like, oh guys, you remember
nostalgia.
This map? And then you go back. That's the thing.
There's
Like,
no nostalgia.
Yeah, well, it's like you go back and play it, and you're like, okay, yeah, I remembered why I don't play this map anymore.
But yeah, Red Dead. So you playing on Xbox or PC?
That's another thing too. Is like,
can your PC handle it?
I was talking to the guy in one of my groups, and I was like, yeah, I'm probably gonna get it on PC because he pulled up the pre-order.
Actually, I don't even know if it's on PC. Edition. It's not even on PC, is it?
And that he was like, it's not even out for PC. It's gonna be for PS4 and Xbox. And I was like, oh shit, it's Rockstar, isn't it?
Yeah,
and the way Rockstar does
they
stuff
usually do PC like 2 years later. If they do it. If they even do it.
I heard it was going to be maybe a couple months after,
That's
potentially, just because they were planning on it. But the other problem is they don't code it for computers. It's a port. Like it,
right.
So that's another thing too. And most of the time, whenever they port it, it's kind of a shitty port. So it ends up end up seeing more bugs. So
until the modders fix it, but
yeah. And if the game still is a auto lock-on system for the shooting, like I probably won't
always turn that off.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Like, I actually prefer that with a controller just because I hate aiming. Like, we played Gears the other day, and we tried to get you on, but you said you don't like private matches. But
I don't. I'd rather play against other people.
I remember,
and I don't like to play like 3-on-3. I don't know. I just because we always have that odd number. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, with the players that we have, though, like sometimes it's good to have a different amount of numbers. But yeah. I remembered I had my sensitivity turned up so much just because that game was so clunky, and like it's a lot easier to aim with the sensitivity being so high. But yeah, if it's still that auto lock system, I probably won't mind getting it on Xbox. But I would prefer to get it on PC if I could. So.
Oh, I forgot. You're not going to get it on PC. The first one never came to PC, so.
Yeah, that's true. Well, the first one was out, in like 2003? So
yeah, all the Grand Theft Autos came to PC. They just never did the Red Dead.
Yeah, anyways. But they're shitty, except for like the most recent two,
not.
I think.
Yes, 3 was awesome. Vice City was awesome. San Andreas was awesome. They're all awesome.
The PC versions were shit compared to the console versions. Just because you were able to mod and do a lot more stuff with the newer ones.
Yeah. But yeah, man, the trailer, oh my god. It looks so good.
What did you think of the different horses having different traits on like if some would be better, I guess, like cross countries.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, they're not all the same horse, just different skins.
I saw.
Did you see that little burnout thing that he did, where he did like a little circle, like a little?
I don't think I saw that. You think they're gonna have like the bulls and stuff like that, like they had? Because I know they had that in the online. I can't remember if they had it in the actual game though.
Oh, probably.
Because I know they had the nightmare horse, which was like the flaming.
Yeah, that was for the undead nightmare.
Like that.
Yeah.
They had a bull that you could ride. They had a zebra. And they had like one or two other things. But I saw a meme on Reddit where it was like horse testicles confirmed for Red Dead 2, and it was like they had multiple pictures of like horses with testicles hanging out.
My only reservation with the game is they talked about when your like game moves on, you have to build these little like camps and stuff. I really don't want to do like camp management and like building and all that. I don't know. I'm just tired of doing all this base building stuff in games. But I have faith in Rockstar that they're going to do it right, or they're going to make it where you don't have to. So
it's going to be like, because you know that they have like the posse thing, right? Like you have your posse that
Right.
like those are the people I'm assuming you get your missions from. I'm assuming they will disperse at some point, and you're trying to like those are like the different areas you're having to build up, and it may be a deal like where it's like, okay, we'll go do this mission because we need this for this base. So it's like you go do it, and then you go take whatever's back to the base. So that's what I'm thinking whenever you do it. I highly doubt they're going to make it like, okay, well you got to go build that, place a house, and then place up defenses and different stuff like that. But you never know.
We'll see. I mean, it's Rockstar, man. Everything they touch is gold, but we'll see.
What did you think about the
the game?
What was it, like the interrogation system that they had? That was
cool.
new.
Supposedly the mission structure is going to be like on the fly like that too, where like you're just walking across people, and then the way you react with them, it makes the missions happen and stuff. Like it's all like natural the way it flows and stuff. So it's kind of what they've been saying. We'll see. They're supposed to do a mission video like next month, I think.
Okay.
So, but man, the game looks so pretty. It's crazy. That was all in game, and my God, it's crazy.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have like a system that could run it like on 4K, but
I have one.
It's out of the budget right now. So
I have one.
Do you have one of the new Xboxes that can run that?
Yeah, I have the One X. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, Red Dead, it's definitely up there. Spider-Man's in like 3 weeks, so I know you said you wanted to check it out, so I'll probably get it.
Console exclusive, boo. Yeah, I may hit you up whenever you're playing so I can check it out.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's going to the fact that it resembles so closely to the way that Arkham games play. I feel like maybe after a while, like once you see everything that the game has to offer, unless they kind of hold some stuff back to like in terms of like attacks and different stuff like that, I feel like the game may get stale like 3/4 the way through, where you're like, okay, well I pretty much have everything I need. There's nothing new coming up. I just have to like continue the story and finish it, you know? So unless they make the story real good, it may turn out to be.
I think it's probably being hyped a little too much. I mean, it looks good, but yeah, I think it might get boring or repetitive. But I'm gonna check it out for sure. I like the Arkham Asylum. I played it for a little bit and I just never finished it. I mean, I like the game. I don't know.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is like what was good about Arkham is like they had so many different side stuff you could do, where it was like if you got tired of the story mode, you could like go do the Riddler challenges, like
right.
Half the time you were fighting, and then after like you cleared the room, it was almost like a puzzle solving thing where it's like, okay, well this door's locked. You have to use Batman's tools to like figure out how to open this door or trigger a trap or different stuff like that. So like that was kind of made that game a little bit more interesting. But that's the thing about Spider-Man. It's like, okay, he fights and he can swing from stuff. Like what are they going to add that's going to make the side quest type stuff, if they have that, more lucrative, as opposed to just having just like a base story mode and it probably only being like a 3 to 5 hour gameplay amount, basically. So
yeah. We will see. Did you see any of the new Smash stuff that got announced this week?
I saw that they announced a new character. Was it from like Kirby or something like that?
They announced what was the first one? They announced Simon Belmont from Castlevania, and then the Echo Fighter. Oh my God,
Simon Belmont.
Yes. And then they announced Richter, which he's an Echo character, so he's just a skin change for Simon. And then they announced.
They should have added Simon from what's that show with the singers? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
yeah,
Simon Cowell.
That Kelly Clarkson was on. Simon Cowell, yeah.
And they announced Chrom from Fire Emblem and another one, and then they announced King K. Rool, which is the boss from Donkey Kong.
That's the one that I saw.
Yeah.
That's the one I saw. The Donkey Kong boss one.
Everybody was
I didn't
freaking
see those
out
other
for the Simon. The very first trailer they showed was they killed Luigi. Everybody was like, "No, Luigi's dead."
Yeah, I saw. So that was what that was from, because I saw that meme where it was like,
Yeah.
Mario dies and whatever, and
Nobody
nobody says
cares.
anything, but Luigi dies in like a trailer, and everybody's like flipping their shit.
Well,
So
the reason
one
why
time,
is because they think that Nintendo might actually kill Luigi off because they have no respect for that man.
I mean, he gets his own games, and half the time when he gets his, like, whenever they make games for him, like, they're actually good, or
Yeah, Luigi's
sometimes
Mansion is awesome.
Yeah, I agree. So
Yeah, Luigi gets no respect in this world. What else? What else was there? I don't know. So did you hear about the? Have you heard about the IGN fiasco that happened last week? Last week or this week?
So I saw something on it, but my thing is like, after I used to be like hardcore IGN whenever I was like in middle school and like freshman, sophomore, and like high school, just because like they were the news back then, in my opinion, for games. So like my brother, that's where he went for everything, for the reviews and all that kind of stuff. So that's where I started looking. But like the older I got and the more I heard about IGN, where it's like half the time the reviews are bought and paid for and a bunch of other stuff, it's like I was so turned off by IGN. Like I literally probably haven't been to their website unless I accidentally click it for something, or it's like, well, I might as well see like what the news is if they break a news story or something like that. But if when it comes to like reviews or anything like that, like all that news that came out, where all that stuff, and then they give the same score to like every game's pretty much like all like 8.5, 7.5, or maybe a 9. Like that's literally like the 3 scores they give everything. So like I just never been an IGN guy since then. So if it's something where it says something bad about IGN, I'm like, oh well, I expect that. So
But anyways, what happened was they hired this new guy. He hasn't even been there a year yet. But anyways, he was like the Nintendo editor, and he reviewed the game called Dead Cells. I don't know if you heard of it, but it's really awesome. It came out last week or this week? This week on Tuesday. And he reviewed it, and the game was already in like early access on Steam, but this YouTube thing called Boomstick Gaming, they reviewed the game earlier, right? Because they did the early access. And they reviewed it and put up the review, but this guy, Philip from IGN, he basically plagiarized this guy's review. And the Boomstick guy called him out and said, hey, I think I should get compensated for you using my thing. I was like, I don't want you to get fired or anything. Basically called him out like, this is kind of too similar, like the words you were using and stuff. And anyways, IGN pulled it down and they put out a press release saying blah, 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 we don't do this. And anyways, they ended up firing the guy, and somebody else re-reviewed the game. But it's just crazy. Like, they definitely just hurt their reputation, now for having a plagiarized article up there. But
it's so stupid. And that's like, I can understand, like, because I know a lot of times if you watch a video or you read an article on that somebody else does, that like you're having to write an article or do a video for something, like a lot of times like you may pull something from that just because it's like, well, this is what I remember and it really struck a chord with me, and like I don't really know how to say it or convenient how some other way basically. But if you're like, to me it's like, if you're in an industry like IGN where somebody like you're making a shit ton of money, like why would you just not avoid watching or seeing anything like that, unless you're just lazy and like didn't do anything and basically just copied everything, so that way there's no chance of any kind of type of plagiarism going down? Because I feel like in media, like that's like the number one no. Like,
oh yeah,
if you plagiarize, you're done.
Yeah, you're done.
So
like, he ain't gonna get hired anywhere. But the thing is, he came from like, he had a YouTube channel. This guy did, so he doesn't even really have like a journalism degree or anything. And well, I guess he thought that nobody would notice because he pulled it off of a video review, not like words, So he just listened to the guy's review on video. Yeah. And he basically just like copied it and wrote it in his. And I was like, dude, in this day and age, people will find anything.
They pulled up an 11-year-old tweet
Exactly.
from James Gunn referencing a joke about children.
Yeah,
And just to get him fired, basically.
So yeah, this guy, I don't know what he was thinking, but it was funny. Speaking of James Gunn, did you see all the, like, Batista, man, he is like fighting. He's like, I will not do this movie if his script isn't used and all this stuff. Yeah, even though he's under contract, I don't know how he's going to get away with that. But
I mean, I'm sure there's probably certain ways they can get out of their contract.
Oh, pay a fine, I'm sure.
Yeah, but that's the thing with Batista is, like, he made his money in wrestling. Like, he can pretty much do whatever he wants. Like, he's not starving, in my opinion, to get all this stuff. And that was the thing too. I actually read that article where he said that, and he was like, well, I've talked to Chris Pratt about it, and he was like, Chris Pratt is more of a Christian man, and he somewhat agreed, but he said he needed more time to make a decision and think over all this before he did something like that. And he was like, and that's fine with me, but this is the way that I feel, and I'm gonna make a statement on it, basically. So
yeah.
Just the way that Disney is, like, they're not, like, Disney is one of those people that, like, if they do something, even if it's like, unless it literally gets blown up by every news media that they made the wrong decision, like, I don't see them rehiring them just because
I don't even know if they would then, man. They might be too prideful to come back and
especially if it when it comes down to kids too, is because literally they make their money off kids. So
yeah. I never even heard the joke. I don't even know what it was.
It was just, he was just making, like, jokes about, like
it was like pedophile or something, right? Something like that.
Like, just what it was as cute as this a shirtless little boy or different stuff like that. It would just be like jokes like that, basically. Yeah. So it was like, it wasn't anything like extremely, in my opinion, extremely raunchy, just because you can go out on YouTube or Netflix right now and watch somebody's YouTube special. You can go listen to whatever that like one chick's name is.
Kevin Spacey raping 15-year-old kids.
Yeah, that's something totally different. But, like, I mean, I understand, like, yeah, you don't joke about rape, but people do it all the time and their stand-up comedy routines. And that was another thing, is people, like, you get these idiots that are like, okay, well, if you're not a comedian, then you don't have the right to make jokes. Like, they want it basically where it's like, okay, well, you have to be a card-carrying comedian, or else you can't crack jokes. Right. And if you do, then it's too offensive. You know,
you can't you have to be an established comedian to do jokes.
You have to go get a license, basically, to crack a joke, basically. Like, right. And to me, like, that's just outrageous. Like, people too butthurt about other stuff. They never worry about their own lives, butt out on half the crap that they talk about. So.
I mean, what was James? I mean, James Gunn wasn't doing nothing to nobody. He was just making his movies. Why are you even messing with him?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, if like he continued to make statements like that, yeah, I could see where, you know what, maybe he has something messed up for his head where he might be a pedophile. But if it was literally like 15 tweets to 8 tweets from a certain time, like literally like within 2 months, and
when
then
he was
like
trying to be a comedian
else like that. Yeah, like, obviously he was just like, oh, I thought this was funny at that time. I tried to make jokes with it. It didn't work out. So there is no other evidence of me trying something like that again. Like,
so I made a movie.
Yeah. So
but there's also been an article going around that Disney, that they were talking about hiring him for something else, though, which is weird. Why would they hire him for something else and not Guardian? I mean,
maybe they felt bad, and it would appease the other people if they came out with an article saying that they might do that, even though they probably won't. So.
Right. Or maybe it's for the rated R division.
When's the last time they actually came out with a rated R movie? Like,
I don't think Disney ever has. Disney movies? I don't think they ever have, unless they end up buying Fox and getting Deadpool.
I'm about to look this up right now,
because you know that they said their the Disney services start next year, their like streaming service, and they said they will not have any of the rated R movies on there. But I guess they were saying that because of Deadpool.
Okay, so it's basically that they're they're conglomerates that
they're
they
other
own.
companies,
the ones, yeah. So like Miramax Films and Dimension Films were the ones like
Miramax and Dimension.
It said from 1993 to 2010 they owned Miramax. So like stuff like Con Air,
Wow.
Good Will Hunting, I think, was one they came out with. Which Good Will Hunting, in my opinion, like besides some of the language, like that's not really a rated R movie, in my opinion. Like people should actually see that to expand their minds. So that Touchstone Pictures they had owned for a while, and that's another one. So
man, Disney owns everything. Did you see that Fox said that they were not going to give The Simpsons though in their deal? They were keeping The Simpsons.
I mean, if they did, would they have to? What's that one? That one theme park.
Universal.
That has all this, yeah, like was Fox owned by Universal? Like, because if that's, I feel like that's kind of a moneymaker for them to have that in that park, because a lot of people go there just.
I want to go just for the Simpsons land.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like to me,
it's
I never watched The Simpsons because my parents like were just like, oh, you're not allowed to watch The Simpsons.
My parents said that too when we watched it.
Yeah, and
she
then my
cared.
dad like
my mom
starts
cared,
watching
but
Family Guy.
She didn't care enough to stop us, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that was kind of us with like Ren and Stimpy and stuff like that.
Oh, dude, Ren and Stimpy was way worse than The Simpsons. For real. If you go back and watch it now, you're like, oh my god, this show is off the wall.
Dude, that was Nickelodeon back in the day. Like they had so many like innuendos that like kids wouldn't get, but like if parents were sitting there, they'd just be like, "Oh my gosh, that's on here." But it's like kids don't think about anything that way, so that just kind of like goes over their head. Like, and then they don't ever ask you a question about it because they don't really know.
Have you watched Ren and Stimpy any recently?
I haven't really watched any like old school Nickelodeon stuff in a while. It's been a while. So
you should tonight watch a couple Ren and Stimpy episodes, dude. It is crazy. Like you're like, oh my god, I can't believe I watched this when I was a kid.
I mean, I remember the red guy like showing his butt like half the time, but I can't remember a lot of stuff after that. So
oh man, it's crazy. There's so much weird stuff in that show. Anyways, but yeah, I mean, Fox, so they're gonna keep The Simpsons, but we'll see what happens.
I mean, it's a moneymaker for them. I don't know why they wouldn't.
Yeah.
So.
I mean,
are they still coming out with new episodes?
Yeah. It's the longest running sitcom on TV.
That's what WWE doesn't want you to think. Well, I guess they're not really classified as a sitcom, but they claim to be one of the longest running TV shows as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know when did WWE start.
Ooh. Back in the 80s, I think. Late 80s, early 90s, probably.
Look it up. Let me see when this. Simpsons started in 89. Wow.
TV show start.
30 years.
So yeah, I mean, it has to be more than 30 years just because they're going on WrestleMania like 30 or 31 or something like that.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, like that.
Because they didn't start off with WrestleMania. They added that later, right?
That was kind of, yeah. It says TV series from 1952 on IMDb, but I don't think it. I think they're probably taking into account like whenever they were still.
The first Simpson clip was in 1987. That showed on the Tracy Ullman show or something like that.
Yeah, they're going it based off the Capital Wrestling Corporation, which is basically cheap. Like, yeah. So if I had to bet, it was probably like late 80s, early 90s. So probably close to 30 years if I had to bet.
Wrestling can't take that claim as the longest running show because people still think it's real. And so if they say it's a show, then they know it's not real.
Well, that's the thing now. Is like it's so crap now. It's like they've basically made it to where, like, now that you're watching, like you'd think it's more of like a TV show than it is. Like I feel like back in the day, like they had like some crazy stuff on it, but at least you thought like the fights like got you into it and like. Yeah. They felt like they were somewhat real, like there wasn't too much hokey pokey stuff with it. And I haven't watched in a while, but whenever I did, every now and then I may watch a clip or turn something on. It just gives me the cringe basically to watch what's going on with it. That's the thing though. I feel like it's because they're lacking. Like UFC has kind of started doing what old wrestling stuff was doing. Like I don't know if you heard anything about what happened with Brock Lesnar when he came in. Like they had a UFC bout with Daniel Cormier a couple weeks ago, and Brock Lesnar is wanting to fight for the heavyweight title. So like he literally showed up like in the crowd for that fight, for the heavyweight fight. So it was like, okay, that's kind of like some old school WWF stuff where like somebody comes out, like sits in the crowd, like just to watch the fight or whatever. After he wins the fight, they do like a little interview there for a second, and then all of a sudden Brock Lesnar walks into the octagon and then just starts cussing Daniel Cormier out, saying he's a bum bitch, like the guy he fought was a piece of crap, like he didn't want to take, basically just like old school WWF stuff where you're just like, oh my gosh, this is kind of actually getting entertaining now. Like, so it's like, and that's the thing, like people that watch UFC, like they were like, oh, Brock Lesnar's trying to make turn this into WWF type crap, and I'm like, in my opinion, like this is actually cool. Like UFC's no, like you don't want two guys up there just being like, oh, I respect your style. Yes, I respect your style too. Let us shake hands and do this after. I'm like, yeah, that's respectable, but like we're trying to make money here. Like that's why Don King was able to make boxing so good at the time, because he was able to amp up the fighters' energy and make them like want to hate each other and talk crap to each other at the press tables and all that kind of stuff. When Mike Tyson was talking about eating children and stuff like that, that was like during the height of boxing at the time. Yeah, like that's the type of stuff like people want to see. They did. So I don't know. I just think it's funny that UFC is just like there's it almost kind of like they planned that, in my opinion, just because I feel like I think a lot of their views have been going down as opposed to what it used to be back in the day. So it'll be interesting to see kind of what that comes with that. But I don't know. Just the whole fighting stuff aspect of sports is not what it used to be, in my opinion.
This is a couple months ago, but I tried to watch, because I have like DirecTV now and whatever. And wrestling came on. I was like, man, let me watch this. I haven't watched wrestling since the Attitude Era. Let me see what's going on here. And I was like, I don't know what the hell's going on, for one. And for two, everybody looks the same. And just what was going on was just so stupid. I'm like, oh my God. I don't know. It just wasn't interesting at all. None of the wrestlers, we'll say fighters, none of the wrestlers, they just have no appeal, man. I don't know.
Since we're on track with wrestling right now, I don't know if you saw this in the news or heard anything about it. You remember Kane, right?
Yeah, I saw he won governor or whatever.
Yeah, he won mayor of a town in Kentucky or something like that. And my friend like took a photo and sent it to me after it happened. I was like, yeah, I saw. I texted him back. I was like, I can't believe they elected him mayor after he burned his whole family down in their house. Like his mom, he killed his mom and dad with fire. I was like, I can't believe he did that. He's like, what are you talking about? I was like, oh my gosh, you don't remember that? Because old school Kane, like that's how they introduced him, because he was Undertaker's brother, and he burned down the house with his parents inside. And he used to talk. You remember that smokers thing that they have? Where they like put it on their throat, and that's the way he used to talk. Like he put that vibrator up, and he would talk like that. That used to give me the chills whenever I was a kid, because I was like, oh, what is going on with his voice or whatever. So I just think it was funny that he got elected mayor. I saw that and kind of laughed a little bit.
Why would they elect him, man? They just.
He like, if you've ever seen him outside of wrestling, like he's honestly like a pretty intelligent and a nice guy. Yeah, well, he's like a nice guy too. So, and that's the thing, like mayors, like you don't really do much as a mayor, in my opinion. Like, yeah, you can kind of improve stuff here and there, but you're not really changing a big overall city, in my opinion, with the power that they give you. So, I don't know. You could ask the same question why Linda McMahon tried to run for freaking like Congress or whatever. It's like, why would you do that? Like, what have you? What credentials do you have that gives you the ability to do that?
Doesn't he still wrestle though, Kane?
Well, yeah, but I think they said he was going to like tone down if he did win this. So I don't think he's going to be doing as much wrestling because of that. But he said he still wanted to wrestle, so that'll be interesting to see. Like, him still be mayor and then come out one week and do a wrestling show or whatever.
Kill somebody. Interesting. All right. Well, you got anything else or?
Not that I know of, other than like some of that game news. Like, there really not a lot of stuff has come out. We talked about Winnie the Pooh coming out, so I feel like I'll probably see. I can't remember if we already talked about this, but I'll probably see Black Klansman and Meg between now and the next time we do a podcast, and be able to go from there. So we'll be able to talk about that a little bit. But yeah, there's really like not a lot of stuff coming out that here coming up. So.
Well, guys,
predictions on Joe placing in the tournament if he does go.
I think he went. Let's see. Top 10.
I'm gonna give him. Well, that's the thing. It's like I don't know
how
much he's been training compared to the other one.
There could only been 10 people there. So.
There might even be 8. I'm gonna say top.
I might give him top 5.
I was about to say top. I want to say, like, my first initial say was going to be top 4, but I'll say top 3 because I feel like he did well in that last tournament. He said, but didn't he? Like, he literally the first round he played like the guy who ended up winning it, right? So that kind of like messed him up for the whole tournament. He had to work his way up. So I feel like top 4, top 3 if he's actually been like playing, but he may just be doing doking and playing with his balls all day long. So, and I'm not talking about his physical balls. I'm talking about his Dokkan balls.
Well, maybe both. So. We'll see. Well, stay tuned for that to see where Joe plays. Hopefully, he won some money and he can give me money. I don't.
Yeah. $5 gift card to like Target or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of stuff, I modded my SNES.
Ooh.
Or I had
are you allowed to say that? Are you get in trouble?
No, because I own all the games. For you.
All that is you just get the right program for it and then jailbreak it basically.
And I saw the video how to do it. I just didn't want to do it.
Oh my gosh!
I need to redo it though. There's some games because I thought all the games that were already on it would still be on it. And obviously,
can you not just download the image now that you have it modded and just add it into what you have, or like is it an actual like do you have to redo it every time you add a game?
I'd have to mess with it, or I'd have to talk to him about it. But he also put NES games on there, and you can put Sega games on there as well. So there's a lot on there though. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Anyways, guys, this has been another episode of TopiCast. I'm one of your hosts, Daniel. That's Jared. And we'll see you later. Bye.